Buongiorno and welcome to Bridlington on what, as you can see, is a very dull, drizzly, breezy day. So we've come here to Bridlington and we're here at the southern end of the South Promenade at South Bay at Bridlington, and we're going to walk all the way along the promenade along South Bay, then round the harbour and then on the promenade at North Bay. So we're looking out now into the North Sea. The tide is currently coming in, although it's quite a long way out at the moment. It is in fact coming in, but high tide isn't for another 4 hours. And we're now beginning to turn and look southwards, and you'll see sort of headlands coming into view, and we're looking down the coast towards Hornsea. And as it's a breezy day, you'll see that the wind turbines are doing overtime today and generating plenty of electricity. And we're just panning all the way round now. So this, as I say, is the start of the promenade here at South Bay in Bridlington. So that's the promenade. It's just a straight walk all the way to the harbour, and the harbour is there. And then if we just pan round to our right, you'll see the headland there through the murk at Flamborough. So that there is Flamborough Head. So what we're going to do is start on our walk, our straight walk in the direction of Bridlington Harbour. We've now walked on a bit further and we've come to the most southerly stop of the land train, which goes along the South Promenade and the North Promenade all the way up to Sewerby. So this is the sort of most southerly stop here of the land train. Okay, we've now arrived at the beach huts here at Bridlington. They're not quite as impressive as those at the North Bay at Scarborough, which are all multicoloured and look much grander than those there. But I'm pleased to say that it has brightened up since we've started our walk, so you can now see the harbour and Flamborough Head. So we've walked on a bit more and we've come to the first of the beach shops and cafes and ice cream parlours. And if we pan round, the building that we see in front of us is Bridlington Spa, which is the theatre and entertainment complex. And just panning round to the right from the spa, you can see the walls there to the harbour. So those are the harbour walls, and that's where we're aiming for next. Okay, we're now on the quay side at the southern end of the harbour, and if we pan round we can see all the various boats in the harbour. So we've got various pleasure boats and yachts, and towards the far end of the harbour up here we've got more of the fishing boats in the harbour there. If we move round and look to the other side of the harbour, so this is the northern side of the harbour, you see that there's rows of shops there on that side of the harbour. We've now come round to a viewing point in the harbour, and we can see the south pier which we just walked down, and we can see the pleasure boats that we saw earlier from the other side. If we pan round we get a better look at the fishing vessels and other working boats in the harbour, and these are now coming into view, and these are at the far sort of southeastern corner of the harbour over there. So that's the sort of fishing boats and other working boats where they're located in the harbour. If we pan round, there's not too much to be seen in this northern part of the harbour here. There's not many boats here at all, but those are a better view we've got here of these shops that we referred to earlier. So there's all the shops there at the northern end of the harbour. Okay, we've walked round to the far eastern end of the harbour, so we're looking back over where we've just been, so we can see that we're looking now sort of inland. So we've got the harbour and then Bridlington beyond it. There's the shops on the northern end of the harbour, and then panning round here we've got the seafront at the North Beach, and here we've got sort of an amusement park here which has gone out of focus but will now shortly come back into focus. And then panning round further we've got North Beach itself, where the tide is very much coming in now, fighting a bit against the wind to keep the camera steady. And then as we move round, we're moving round towards Flamborough Head. So we've got the headland coming up here, and there is Flamborough Head over there. So we've walked past all the amusement arcades up there, and there's the northern end of the harbour there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on a walk along the promenade at North Beach here in Bridlington, and the promenade is now coming into view. So there's the promenade there, and we're going to walk all the way down the promenade down to Sewerby. We're continuing to walk down the seafront, and we've walked quite a way, and there's quite a way to go. As you can see, it's very wide and very elegant, and there's quite a number of people walking along the seafront as it's brightened up. Okay, we've now come to the end of the seafront promenade, so what we're going to do is we're going to walk up there and then walk along the cliffs which you can see over there in the direction of Sewerby. Okay, we're now up on the cliffs, and as you can see we're getting nearer to the headland, and there it is there. That's the chalk cliffs, and the most northerly chalk cliffs in the country. Continuing on our walk, we're just going past the spot which is the entrance to the Bonville Model Village. So that's where the entrance to that is there, and if we zoom out and pan round, we get a great view of where we've just walked from. So if we look down here, there is the whole of Bridlington, and there is North Beach, and if I zoom in, there you can see Bridlington. There's the amusement arcade there, there's the harbour. South Beach is just round the other side of the harbour. There's plenty of wind farms which are doing very well today on this breezy day, and there's all the land there, well I should say the coastline to the south. We've now arrived at Sewerby, which is the last stop for the land train, and at Sewerby there is Sewerby Hall and Gardens to visit. So we've walked now all the way from the southern end of South Beach along North Beach, and now up on the cliffs to Sewerby, and with that it's time to say arrivederci.